Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Finding where to land your spaceship in a space game shouldn't be that difficult, but Star Citizen is a different kind of a game. If you're watching this because you're new to Star Citizen, then welcome. Throughout your journey in SC, you will pick up plenty of tips and tricks to help you save time and energy. In this guide, I'll share you a few that I have picked up along the way. If you're looking for directions to a specific spaceport right now, I'll leave timestamps in the upper left-hand corner and in the description below. If everything goes well, we'll tour the 4 major cities and Grim Hex, and maybe even have time for a tip or two. Okay, let's start at Hurston, with its capital city being Lorville. With the new skyline and the much larger sprawling city, the spaceport has become a little bit more difficult to find, but the trick is still the same as it was before. Look for the huge Hurston Tower with its sloping back, and just follow that down to the spaceport. Using Tab, you can send out a ping that cuts through the clouds or the darkness to show you the skyline behind. We will be using this trick a lot. And speaking of night, we use the same technique to find the spaceport in Lorville at night. Find the slope roof and follow it down to the spaceport. As we get closer, we can see the floating signs that say TISA Spaceport, and when we get close enough, we'll get a prompt from ATC to call for a hangar. As we can see, it's not too difficult to find Hurston Spaceport once we know what we're looking for. As we leave Lorville, this brings us to our first pro tip. Use the pitch and roll indicator on the HUD, also known as the pitch ladder, to point your ship straight up as we leave. This will save tons of time leaving atmosphere to jump. And now we're at ArcCorp, main city, Area 18. Honestly, I think they went a little overkill with the clouds in Area 18 without giving players a good way to see the spaceport from a distance. Looking at Area 18, we cannot see the spaceport, but we know that it is close to downtown, and it has a long highway running from it. This highway is what we're going to use to find the spaceport. Even through all the clouds, you can see the neon signs that run alongside the road, and we can just follow that to the spaceport. As you're making your approach, be sure to watch out for tall buildings. As you're coming through the clouds, you'll find that many buildings reach all the way into the clouds. Use that ping to avoid them. At night, we use the same approach for finding the spaceport in Area 18. First, admire the sunset, and then find the center of the city with the very large ArcCorp building and the red blinky light, and then look for the road with the neon lights and follow it to spaceport. And now we're going to move on to Crusader, with Orison being the capital city, located inside the gas giant. Orison got a lot easier to find when they moved quantum travel ceiling down in 318, and now we end up jumping much closer to the city. The trick to finding the spaceport in Orison is looking for the big spiderweb looking spaceport. Once you see it, you'll never be able to miss it. And at night, it's just as easy to find. Send out the ping to see the echo, and look for the 4 big red lights on top of the landing bay. And now for our last major landing zone, it is New Babbage on the frozen planet of Microtech. The large identifiers for finding the spaceport are the big frozen lake in front of the spaceport and the train rail that runs to it. There are several other large buildings around New Babbage as well, but none of them have the large ice lake in front of them, which identifies the spaceport. During the day, we can see the iconic red lights on the spaceport, but at night they show up much better. These lights are also great distinguishers between the outlying buildings and the spaceport. And now for everyone who's stuck around to the end of the video, let's do a bonus and go to Grim Hex. The landing pads at Grim Hex are notoriously difficult to find, even for seasoned players, but there are a couple of tricks to help you look like a pro when entering this den of iniquity. Two things to take note of from the point of view where I have us located now. Number one, the landing pads are located on the back side of the asteroid from yellow and are on the same plane as the asteroid belt. Remember this when you QT jump in. A lot of players come across the pads that are located outside of the Grim Hex hangar when they're lost. If you do, just strafe up, and you'll find Hangar 13 on the top. Keep on strafing in that same direction, and you will find the hangar base. Since we're at Grim Hex, let's do a quick QT jump in and see what the direct flight path to the hangars looks like. To QT to Grim Hex, we always have to make our jump from yellow back to the asteroid field that Grim Hex is located in. If we remember our two rules of locating the hangars, number one, the hangars are on the far side from yellow, and they're located on the same plane of the asteroid field. So we just have to fly to the back side of Grim Hex asteroid and do not go to the top or bottom. It is that easy. I hope this guide helps a few people on their journey in Star Citizen. The verse can be unforgiving, but there are some great people in this game. If you get stuck, say hi to the next person that comes along, and who knows, you may find a friend. Good luck, and remember to slow down and enjoy the game.